everyone, I'm Food for Dogs, and today we have a different music. The background music is from the Alliance Alive. Now this is a limited edition that arrived this week. I immediately opened it and started playing the game, which is why you see all the contents here already displayed on the table. I wanted to talk about this game, but also about the precursor, which is called Legend of Legacy. Now, some of you may know it or not, I'm not sure. I'll show you the back of the box because it is absolutely ravishingly beautiful. Now, this game, as well as this one, there are a lot of connections between the two, were developed by a very small, I think, Japanese company called Cattle Call, unusual name, in conjunction with the publisher Furyu. Furyu being a small and niche publisher, they've got a bit of a trick up their sleeves in that they co-opt usually a very well-known script writer, to work on their games, and that creates quite a lot of interest. Now, in the case of Legend of Legacy, the writer was Masato Kato, and he had worked previously on games such as Chrono Trigger, Xenogears, Chrono Cross, and some Final Fantasy. So a very well-established, well-known name. The game came out in 2015 in Japan for the 3DS, and it came west in 2016. By then, people were already talking about the upcoming new Nintendo console, the Switch, which of course appeared in 2017. So this game and the few others that struggled in afterwards came at the tail end of the 3DS, and maybe for that reason didn't have a lot of exposure. I fell in love with Legend of Legacy the moment I started playing it. I played it a lot. I played it on 2 different 3DSs, constantly experimenting with different party setups. Legend of Legacy is an unusual game in that it harkens back to the era of the saga games. It is deliberately a bit of a throwback to the classic RPGs of yesteryear, and the saga games, if you're familiar with them, and many of you probably are, you will know that they have an unusual combat system. They don't have a traditional leveling up system, but you acquire skills during combat and level up your equipment and skills that way. There are some people who don't really like that system and others who like it very much, and I'm one of the latter. It came with a beautiful art book, as you can see, and I'll just show you some of the character designs. Now the story, there isn't much of a story in Legend of Legacy, but it is set on an island called Avalon, and 8 adventurers arrive there and they sort of meet up as they start exploring the mysteries of the island. And that's really all the story is about. It's about exploration and combat. Here's one of my absolute favorite characters. Filmia the frog. Isn't he glorious? Now, another reason why I loved Legend of Legacy so much was the music. The soundtrack just captivated me. And you can see here they also did a lovely design for the soundtrack, which is unfortunately quite small. It only contains 10 tracks. I had this on for weeks on end, on an endless spool, honestly. I just love the music that much. The music is by Masashi Hamauzu, who's quite a well-known composer. He's got an unusual style. I would describe it as atmospheric and subtle. He blends in very, very well. And he likes to combine traditional instruments with synthesizer music, so quite unusual. So from this game on the 3DS, we then heard in 2018 that the Alliance Alive was a new RPG by Cattle Call and Furyu again, a sort of spiritual successor, but it was coming to the 3DS, and I don't think many people took notice anymore in 2018. The other problem was that a physical edition only came out in North America. Europe and other territories were left with digital only. And to be honest, for me, digital on the 3DS is a very undesirable option. So I sort of stood back and hummed and hawed and waited. And I never bought it on the 3DS because eventually an announcement was made that they decided to bring an upgraded version, an HD remaster, to the current generation consoles. And once I heard that was that, and I knew I was going to get it, so I pre-ordered it from Nisa, and they are credited on the back here. I don't know whether you can see that. It says Furyu Corporation, licensed to Nipponichi Software America. I think you can see from the book cover already the similarity in art style. And that is not surprising because Furyu and Cattle Call pulled in almost exactly the same team as they had working on Legend of Legacy for the Alliance Alive. The only difference was because they'd had so many criticisms for a lack of story in Legend of Legacy that they decided to do their usual thing again and pull in a really well-known writer with a track record for solid storytelling. And that was Yoshitaka Murayama, who wrote the scripts for the first two Suikoden games. You'd have to say a heavyweight. You know, he was really going to beef up the story side of things. So that's what they did for the Alliance Alive, and the art team was pulled in again. Character design was by Ryu Hirao. He'd done the character design here, he did it here again. And the art director was Masayo Asano. As you can see, the PS4 version comes with a little packet of cardboard. They call them cutouts. I would call them pop-outs of the 9 main characters. And I suppose you could pop them out. There's even little sort of stands provided in cardboard, and they might even stand up like little standees, I reckon. Comes again with a soundtrack, an outstanding soundtrack by Masashi Hamauzu. I started the game, as I said. I'm currently collecting video footage so I can put together a video with my first impressions for you, hopefully very soon, so both videos should appear together. And that's what this was all about, really, about the Alliance Alive and the lure, the attraction of classic style RPGs, which is really my thing. I just love them. Unfortunately, I have to report that the Alliance Alive, this remaster, did not sell very well in the first week in Japan. The Switch version sold slightly better than the PS4 version, which is not surprising at all. But overall, they only managed something like 4,300 copies in the first week, which is not really terribly good, you'd have to say. That's it for showing you the Alliance Alive, introducing you to the work of Cattle Call and Furyu, and I hope you enjoyed that and that you will want to watch the impressions video of the game. I have played 7 chapters so far, so I think I've got a bit of a handle on things that I can talk a bit about it. Thank you very much for watching. Keep well. I'll see you around. I'm Food for Dogs. Bye-bye.